Go. That circle thing kept going and going and going. I'm like, when are you gonna stop? Hey everybody, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to another edition of Knightcast. We are back and we have a good list of content tonight. Also, let's give a warm welcome back to Joker, who took last week to deal with some personal matters. It's good to have him back on board. Good to see him back in action and joining us yet again for another edition of Nightcast. Hey, James A. Sunflower, what's up? What's up?
Mhm.
So, well, without further ado, we'll dive immediately into our first topic. What's going on in the Superman movie? What is going on here? I mean, we
I
have a
swear,
lot
almost
going on.
everything from this movie, like, I just want to be that guy to say, let's just wait till the damn movie comes out and judge it. The small stuff, like small snippets from the teaser, from the first sneak peek that we got to see of Superman pulling off the Yamcha pose, getting saved by Crypto is one thing, and seeing all the set his robots and Fortress of Solitude, that's one thing. I'm like, okay, we're building it up. I'm liking what I'm seeing. But I swear, it's if people want the clicks, the bait, to tell people that, oh no, it's gonna fail. I'm like, just wait until the damn movie comes out. Like this. Are we sure this is the plot that we want? Are we sure we want to say it's doomed, it's over? Guys, you should really read the article, and then you find out it's like, oh, this is just rage bait. They want you to have this reaction of course James Gunn would do this. No, he wouldn't. I mean, you have to treat characters with respect. Oh, but where was that respect for Snyder and the DC extended? Who knows what they were doing with for DC during the extended universe run? Did I like the gritty stuff? For the most part. Did it work with every character? No, not all of them, but I could see what they were trying to do to build up, a more darker, gritty take on Superman, and Batman has always been dark and gritty, to be fair, so Zach was going more for a war-torn veteran take. Aquaman, you could be a little more goofy and funny. Wonder Woman, outside that first film, the sequel, we don't talk about. We don't talk about 84. No, we do not talk about that. And then the Flash movie, terrible. But this, we're not even there yet. We got we got 71 days left. Let's just get through these 71 days, and then we can judge it then. All right, so what does this article say? What does it say to make everybody creating video after video going, it's doom and gloom? What does it say?
James Gunn's revenge on the internet. A bizarre and rumored plot for James Gunn's Superman has surfaced online, which claims the Man of Steel gets dragged into the world of cancel culture. Oh,
Oh, look at that. That's red flag number one to say this is bait. But you
I
see a
mean,
guy with a phone. That's modern day society, folks. Back in Christopher Reeve's era, we didn't
hey,
have
Alchemy.
smartphones technology. We would just have a pen and a paper or a camera crew there be recording him if something happened to Metropolis. Now we can have cell phones out and everybody can be a hypocrite. So I don't trust
Didn't
that
these
part.
people? This is nothing new, ladies and gentlemen. Because if anybody's watched X-Men Evolution, the original animated series of Batman, Superman, the Justice League, everything, there is a distinct unfavorable attitudes to these characters. It's been there since then. It's
Since the
nothing new.
inception. Because when you think about it, when you have someone who's practically a god, air quotes, because he's still get wounded by kryptonite, magic, and red sun. So yes, he can still be wounded. There's always going to be a huge debate of, is he even one of us? Should we be be afraid of him. Like, even, again, DC Extended Universe, I love Viola Davis. I love the line where it's in the Suicide Squad along in the trailer as well. So it made the movie regardless, is that, Superman's like this beacon, this light. And when he went away, it felt like everybody started to creep out of the shadows, or when he arrived, everything started to creep out. I'm like, okay, I can see a fair point to that. Superman's kind of the light, the hope. Again, at that time, behind the scenes stuff, Batman's been Batman. Bruce Wayne's Batman's been doing Batman for what, maybe 10 years, 15 years at least. Even Batman in Batman v Superman, he's like, we've been doing this for an X amount of years, Alfred. So I'm like, oh, okay. So he's been Batman for a very long time. Even when you get to the costumes where, in the Batcave, you see one of the Robin's suit with the iconic green logo from the Joker that's like, ha, 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 Batman, you let your family die. We know this has been a while. It's not Nightwing's, because we would have seen Nightwing. It's not Jason Todd. It's somebody. A Robin died or had a horrific event that kind of caused Bruce Wayne's, this version of Batman, Bruce Wayne, to kind of start, again, I love this commentary too, Bat symbol the criminals, and some of them would die in prison or be beat up to death in prison. So I kind of like we're getting parts of Sons of Batman as well. And even on the news, they're like the bat symbol of death. Hell, he almost gave Lex Luthor the bat symbol of death. So I'm like, this is kind of cool. Almost didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So he hesitated. Cool, right? That was cool.
I like
you could
it
say
when
it goes against everything that Batman stands for, but I'm like, for this take, I like it actually.
And it does add a bit more lore to the character. I mean, I have no problem with like world building on already existing IPs if done correctly like this. If it's done correctly, we will praise it. We'll be like, okay, we can accept this into the lore of Batman. We can accept that, because now it's like, okay, if it's not Jason Todd, if it's not Dick Grayson, if it's not Tim Drake, then
it's somebody. It's somebody.
Then who is
but
it?
I think the staff kind of gives it away a little bit. Like, could have been Tim Drake, because Damian's not born yet. Like, no. This is too soon for Damian.
Well, way too soon.
So it's one of the three that something happened to a Robin. And he wouldn't get that sad, depressed, in that psychological state if it didn't happen to one of the Robins. So I'm like, this has got to be somebody. Sadly, unfortunately, we'll never know. But that was a great mystery to eventually find out. So that's a bummer for me. That's a bummer. So for the Soul Superman cancel culture troll thing, we'll say that's fake.
Yeah. In the leak, and I'm using leak very loosely here, it's claimed that James Gunn sets up Superman to be battered by social media hate, which apparently makes the Man of Steel feel sad. No, we're not joking. It's further claimed that James Gunn used a hashtag
loosely.
Super shit.
Loosely, folks, loosely.
It's further claimed that James Gunn used a hashtag super shit in the movie, which trends and damages Superman's image. But the real twist, Lex Luthor is behind it all, using an army of mutant monkeys
I
at
need to
keyboards.
see reactions to this. Turn on the camera. Read that out loud with a straight face.
I'm gonna try, because I'm like, wait. Okay, I'm gonna reread the whole thing.
Watch him.
The whole thing.
Clip it.
In the leak, it's claimed that James Gunn sets up Superman to be battered by social media hate, which apparently makes the Man of Steel feel sad. No, we're not joking. It's further claimed that James Gunn uses a super shit hashtag in the movie, which trends and damages Superman's image. But the real twist, Lex Luthor is behind it all, using an army of mutant I can't even.
Mutant monkeys. Mutant. Even though Metamorphosis is there.
I can't even.
See,
I
three
cannot.
three red flags right there. This is fake. This is rage bait click article. And the reason why we're talking about it, stop making the videos early. Stop saying, no, it's human rage, mutant, monkeys. Is this the episodes from The Simpsons?
It's
This is an episode from The Simpsons where Homer
or
walks into
Archer.
the mirror.
Or Archer or Family Guy, Bob's Burgers. Actually, you know what? We'll throw one better. Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty, South Park, where South Park has the police is like, all right, here's what's in here. They tracked all the people who are naughty or nice for using Santa Claus. Guys, Super Monkeys should have been the red flag for all of you to be like, oh, this is just rage big click article. Anyway, to sum this up for me, I think this is fake. Maybe Super Shit's in the movie. They could play for that angle for a little bit. But I think even Lex Luthor's smart enough to be like, this is beneath me. Let me just come out and actually, have my rage against Superman. Because Lex has always hated Superman. And even for your Smallville fans out there, Lex hates Superman. Even the animated
series.
Even their take of Lex Luthor started them younger years in Smallville, where I actually did like that change up a bit, where they kind of start off as friends. I'm like, this is nice to see Lex not be all mean, nasty, charming, silver-tongued guy. It's nice to see him to be an actual teenager. Until he figures out... Oh, you're muted. Until he figures out that my dad was telling the truth. He is a freak. He's not from Earth.
Phil. Exactly. And I liked Smallville. I liked it, and I liked their take on Lex Luthor, because it's like one of those things where you just wish you could just have this piece right here. It's like, what could have been? What could have been? I'm sure in due time, Clark would have told Lex about it in due time. But wishful thinking, though. Do like the chemistry between both of them. They had really good chemistry. Did you notice
really
the chemistry between?
Honestly.
I can get behind it.
They had good chemistry.
I can get behind it.
And the sad thing for me, I still have yet to watch all of Smallville. My sister watched maybe some odd episodes, but I wish she told me this was Superman, because I would have been watching it at night with her. I don't care if I was young. I'm like, this is Superman? Give me up to speed. What's going on? Little me would have been like, all right, give me up to speed. What's going on here?
What's going on?
I'm like, anything was... But you know what? The three nice things we got: seeing Christopher Reeves twice, seeing Darkseid finally after all these years, even though I'm like, all right. And they still use the John Williams theme at the end for the series finale. I'm like, yes. It's like, yes. And it's sorry.
Proper.
Although the one negative, he didn't wear the suit. Why is it CGI?
Oh,
the damn suit. That is one thing I'm sure if I had a time machine, I would have gone back. I'm like, just let him wear the damn suit.
That is probably one failing I will give that show. The one failing. Everything else is spot on.
So many
everything else it was good. Go ahead, Joker.
I mean, he did the pose and everything. The music is playing. It's like, yes, he did. But then you find out it's CGI. I'm like, not even a stuntman. You couldn't get a stuntman just to wear the suit. Would have been fine. It still would have been like, well, the main actor didn't wear the suit, but the stuntman did. Why? But anyways, I'm gonna say this is all fake. Even if I see super shit in the movie, I'm still gonna be like, oh well, that's one thing, but nothing else is in here. Like, guys, I'm sure. Just let the movie come out. Let it come out. Judge it then. If it's good, I will sing its praise. If it's still like, almost there, I'll still sing its praise. As long as the main focus is on Superman,
and the thing is, this is the most comic accurate Lois we've had. The most comic accurate. She's got the beauty. She's got the long hair, the outfit. Every time I see the trailer Joker, I'm like, we finally got a comic accurate. It's there. It's there right there. And I'm like, that's what's so tragic about this. I would like to see this movie succeed. And you and I are probably one of the very few who are like, let's just wait and see what happens after the movie's release. We have 2 more months to go. We have
71
2
days.
more
That's what I said. 71 days. We're almost there, folks. Let's just get through
wait it out. Just wait it out and see what happens. And if the movie's bad, then we'll be like, well, at least we can give our thoughts on it after it's out.
Chance.
But in all essence, ladies and gentlemen, this is complete rage bait, and people just don't know when to quit. And I get it. People want to do it for clicks, and that's a beautiful shot right there. That's a very beautiful shot.
I think that was the first look of them like testing things out. Obviously, and I was like, but he's putting on the boot and the weird. Okay, regardless, again, whatever. Just let the film be good, folks. Let it be good. If it's good, I will praise it. You know, I've waited over a decade to see a brand spanking new solo Superman film. I know there's multiple other heroes in here, but again, finally a Superman film after a decade. Batman v Superman is one thing, but I waited for a just main title, Superman. Finally, I'm getting it. I know Mr. Terrific's in here. Carter's Green Lantern and Hawkgirl's in here. Fine. If they're like minor characters, I'll be fine. Keep the focus on Superman. I'm paying to see Superman, not the rushed Batman v Superman movie. Like, I still like that movie in the director's cut, but man, there was just something else. But please, I need this movie to be good. Please.
Exactly. And that's all we want, ladies and gentlemen, is just a decent Superman movie we could write home about, saying, okay, it was actually really good and the focus is there. The focus is there, and I cannot wait to see how this Luthor is going to act. If we put aside everything else, let's give this Lex Luthor a shot.
I mean, Nicholas Holt's been getting better. He's been finally getting his justice due, getting a lot of good films lately. I'm willing to give him a fair chance. I think the closest Lex we probably got in years, probably the one who looked the part, he acted the part, although his Lex is only famous for the Brah! Is Kevin Spacey. Literally Kevin Spacey. Like, we got the perfect actor, but he's in a debatable movie with Superman Returns. Is that what it is?
I think it is Superman
Returns.
Yeah,
the Bryan Singer adaptation, which, again, I'm fine with him as Lex, but he's only remembered for wrong.
that scene made me laugh.
Lex we got.
But in essence, ladies and gentlemen, in closing, and to our friend and to our wonderful friend Dash, you're our friend.
Dash, I love you, brother. Please.
We love you. It's just we question your take on this movie in reverence and respect here. We're not.
I hope I can prove you wrong, Dash. I hope I can prove you wrong. And if you're wrong, you're coming to Knightcast no matter what.
Yeah, would love to have you on here, and you can.
And we can debate about this forever.
Yes, but Dash, we mean this with love and respect to you, our dear friend. We mean this with love and respect. But still, I'm gonna wait and see how this movie's gonna go. If it's worth seeing, I'm just gonna sit back and wait. But I like what I see, though. That's the thing. I want this to be successful on its own. Put aside all the other Superman movies for a moment and go see this. Give this one a fair chance. Give this Superman a chance. Give this Lois Lane a chance. Lex Luthor a chance. Give all three of them a fair chance. And then when the movie's over, then you could put your final thoughts and everything. But for now, let's hold the criticism until after the movie's release. It's too early still. It's way too early. And if it does turn out to be a flop, then, well, egg on our face. We'll admit we're wrong. I'm not afraid to admit when I am wrong. I'm not afraid to admit that. Anyway, guys, hope for the best for this movie. Me and Joker are going to sit back and watch and see what happens. But but we got to clear the air on this because there's way too many videos I've seen which are so out there and everything. It's like, did you not read the damn article? Because we just did. We read that whole thing and
look at his
just
reaction.
looked at it. We're like,
you need to read this with a straight face. Because even when I looked at him, like, red flag number 1, red flag number 2, and the third one made me go, almost do it.
I could not finish that sentence.
I was like, oh,
you
my
saw
God,
me break.
no way.
You saw me break. You saw me break at that sentence with the monkey one. I broke on that because I could not read it. I'm like, it's like something that Vince Russo would come up with. That sounds like a classic Vince Russo, in my humble opinion.
It felt like a Saturday Night Live skit.
It does, and I could see that. That's so funny. But in all seriousness, ladies and gentlemen, let's give this movie a fair chance. That's all we ask. Oh, Joker, any final thoughts real quick before we go to the next subject?
No, you said it, like, give it a fair chance. I want to give the Superman a chance again. I waited a decade, folks, a long time to see a brand new solo film. If we ever did get the Zack Snyder sequel, he said it would have been Brainiac. I'm like, oh, Brainiac on the big screen. That would have been cool to see, but we're going to be waiting. We're going to be waiting a long time for Brainiac for these guys. So anyway, speaking of the topic of DC, apparently there was a Sergeant Rock movie that was in production. The first news came out, it was canceled, but then later it's revealed, oh no, it's not actually canceled. It's just being held off till next year. So folks, the first news, like several hours ago, they were all being reported that Sergeant Rock was canceled. And I'm like, really? Canceled when you just announced this after the Penguin show was airing? Well, okay then, that's sad. That's a bummer. But then just recently, all these articles are getting, news outlets are getting the more definitive answer. It's like, no, we didn't cancel the project. We're just halting it for the moment, and we'll release it.
Hey, Callie.
Start filming next year in the summer. So now I'm going like, who messed up here? Who was the info leaker? Like, who messed up? Because it went from canceled to revealing who was a part of it, and then it was like, well, so at least I know right now it's not dead. It's just, we'll just wait till next year. I mean, and I think that's the best move. Wait till next year. Go right ahead,
Alrighty. Sergeant Rock halts pre-production, now eyeing summer 2026 production start. Sergeant Rock, DC's superhero flick to team Luca Guadagnino, that's the best way I could say that, and the Penguin's Colin Farrell, who, by the way, fantastic as the Penguin, mind you. He's great as
Penguin. Even in the Batman, he was a great choice for the Penguin. I was like, damn, so good.
Yeah. Has halted production plans. Sources have confirmed a deadline. While the film was supposed to enter production in the coming months, we're now told it'll look to shoot next summer. Studio insiders said that ultimately shooting this summer was untenable, as the team would have had to rush through prep to hit the right weather conditions at the right time. The film is being shot primarily on location in the UK, and shooting exteriors in the dead of winter would not have been optimal conditions for cast, crew, and equipment. The Sergeant Rock news comes as a shock as the film was greenlit months ago with a $65 million budget and planned to shoot this August. Sources close to the project say Guadagnino was scouting locations last week and that the studio was far down the line with alien Romulus breakout David Johnson to join
That was the android
Farrell.
brother, which he did a good job actually for someone I've never even heard
I
about.
saw Romulus. I actually enjoyed it. I liked the
like I
good.
said, like
He was good.
the setup is nothing too new. Like okay, the space stuff, but getting back into the ship, I'm like, this is the vibe of the first film. Like very creepy atmosphere. You don't know what happened, and it's the aftermath, which is I like a lot of when they do this correctly. You got the science lab sequence I remember from Aliens 2 and the Prometheus stuff. But that actor alone playing the android brother goes from I'm nervous, I can't do stuff to when he gets the new chip in, it's like he changes his posture, the way he talks. It's like, dude, he's got talent. I was like, damn, that was cool. That was cool. Like I'm like, damn, like if he was in this, I'm like, all right, cool, go places because I think this could be a cool project to be a part of.
And the thing is, David Johnson has presence. Like I legitimately felt terrified of this android. I legitimately was afraid of him. I'm like, nah, he's too smart for his own good. But he does it so good, and that's what I loved about that movie. The android was really good. And I'm like, okay, he could actually rival Prometheus's David. Like he could rival him.
I'm gonna put a big huge doubt in that, but the scene that made me afraid of him when he did not open up the door for one of the females when the xenomorph was in there, that made me go, oh shit, he's being corrupted.
That was peak
He's
right
following
there.
the mission. That was like tense in its own way. I'm like, that made me go, okay, he's on the rival for the first guy. But I think David is both smart in his own way, but he has more freedom than the mission. So hopefully I get Prometheus 3 and we see David's plan come into fruition. That is if Ridley Scott doesn't die.
Yep.
Please, Mr. Scott, just stay alive just a bit longer. Please.
As well as Challenger star Mike Feist, who also had an offer. Haven't seen that one yet. I haven't seen that one yet.
I think that came out in theaters, but didn't quite do so well. I heard it was good, though.
Yeah. Now, everybody's wondering, what is Sergeant Rock? In Sergeant Rock, a World War II set superhero actioneer Farrell was set to play Sergeant Franklin John Rock, the character created by Robert Kanger and Joe Kubert, who first debuted in the 1959 DC issue Our Army at War as a World War II soldier. The character gained stature in 1977 when he got his own comic book series, which ran through 1988. So that actually sounds interesting because it's and keep in mind, guys, we never heard of this until now. We never heard of this character, so that's why it's interesting to talk about this because it's a brand.
And Colin Farrell doing double duty, sweet, cool. But when you go from being, it's being production, we're gonna start filming soon, to again several hours ago being like, it's now canceled. I'm like, what are you doing over there? Why announce stuff and be like cancel? To a couple, like an hour and 90 minutes, 2 hours later to be like, oh no, it's not canceled. It's just being pushed back a bit. And I'm going, oh, this sucks. Because you have everybody panicking and be like, wait, are we out of a job? Like, no, you're not out of a job. We're just delaying it. So who messed up? I want to say somebody accidentally gave people the wrong news or misinterpreted someone like, it's been canceled. It's like, it's not canceled. So this is someone's screw up that they're not going to live down for a while. It's like, I made a mistake. It does happen, but a lot of these articles should have hopefully by now be updated to be the correct. It's not canceled. It's just gonna start filming next year.
Exactly. I think we could qualify this as a delay to 2026. For the most part, we could file it as, because this is what it really entails. It's most likely going to be it's going to be delayed, which is
It's probably
fine.
still in pre-production because there's no way they were gonna make that 2025 or
August deadline. There's just
whatever
no.
they had this film out for. It's like there's no way you're gonna make it that quickly and be like done. So it's best to delay stuff, let your movies build up, let this universe build up for a bit, and then go for it. Because I know Superwoman is in production with Jason Momoa as Lobo, so that's probably they want to get those two out right away, and then hopefully the Batman will be done. And I did find something more in a recent article, is that Robert Pattinson is in Dune 3, Part 3. He's in Dune Part 3, actually.
Really?
Okay, hold on. Let me get that up quickly.
While Joker's looking that up, I'm gonna give my final thoughts on the article on this real quick. I'm all in favor of a new character coming into the spotlight. I'm all in favor of that because the Sergeant Rock one, that's a new one on me, and I would like to see more of this. I'm hoping it's going to be good because it's a character we never heard of. I mean, yeah, granted, the DC universe and the Marvel universe are huge. Is all. I mean, it's under. You can't even describe the universe of those respective comic book titans and everything. You could say the same thing with Dark Horse and everything. You could say that. We don't know that many characters, and it's good to see a new face. It's good to see a new face in the spotlight rather than like a Captain America, the mainline ones. It's good to see a new one come out. It's good, and that's actually a refresher. It's not superhero fatigue. It's not. It's a brand new thing. It's like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. Yeah, we're interested. We can wait to 2026. I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to wait and see where this goes because this has my interest. Hey, Godzillionaire, how are you doing, buddy? Um, and most people are gonna be like, oh, World War II, that's Captain America's time. Well, you can make that argument, but luckily, it's not that. That's not the case. You can easily make something from it, and it would work still. All in all, somebody screwed up. It's on delay right now, as is, and we'll go from there. Now, Joker has brought up Robert Pattinson will be playing the villain Sidetail in Dune 3 if he decides to sign on.
I think this is actually a good choice for Robert. Someone told me that if he does sign on to this, he's like the perfect villain for Part 3. Again, I wish David or Bob was here right now. Or if someone does know this character from the Dune universe, please let us know. But I think this is a great choice. I know people are going to say, but he's doing this before Batman. People take different roles. It takes time. I know the Batman film does have a lot of delays in it. It's fine, but hopefully he can still able to do Batman Part 2 when he's still young enough and he's not too old like Keanu. I know people keep saying, but we want John Wick. I don't need John Wick 5. The story's wrapped up.
I'm happy. I'm excited to go see Ballerina. I'm excited to go see that one, see what that's all about. I love the character in that movie. I love her. I love it. And I'm glad we got to see Keanu Reeves in a cameo, which is completely fine, ladies and gentlemen. It is in the world of John Wick, but it's nice to see him in that cameo.
In between chapters 3 and 4. But did you know about that darn Blade movie that's never come out?
Oh, no, what now?
We have news. So the man, the myth, the legend, Delroy Lennon, Mister. Say the word you want to say. I'll say with you. Mm, Says Marvel Studios' Blade film went off the rails. I had with producers, the writers, the directors at the time. It was all leading into being very inclusive. It was really exciting conceptually. It was all leading to being basically what he's trying to say. It was a Blade movie. It was going off the rails. It was exciting. This was amazing. And I have to say, why can't we see that movie? Apparently, with all the different switching directors, hiring different writers to pen screenplays, some of them never getting off the ground, or one of my favorite writers was the writer of Blade Runner 2049, Arrival. He was one of the main writers for Shadow and Bone, which sadly got canceled after 2 seasons on Netflix. But that same writer was also did do Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019, but now he's doing a Pacific Rim prequel show, which I'm like, damn, my favorite writer's doing Pacific Rim. Holy shit!
Which Pacific Rim was good?
Let me find that. Actually, I'll show you.
Pacific Rim was good.
That was good, but
so what's going on here, Joker? What exactly is happening in this blunderfest that we call a Blade movie?
Well, to those who haven't been keeping track, we were supposed to have the film sometime last year when they announced it all those years back ago. I know he's like, wait, what? We were supposed to have this film like so many years back ago. Let's see if I know it's here somewhere. Because I know this is one of them. Oh, hi, I'm still in the top comments. Where is it? Oh my god. Okay, so I can't find it right now. But I still remember years ago them announced the Blade movie. And it was supposed to be out this year. Like, I think it was supposed to be this year. Yeah, it was supposed to come out actually this year. Holy shit, I can't believe it's been that long. So, hold on. So, to be fair with the Blade, well, not to be fair, they've gone through different directors, writers, you name it, and it's been a disaster. Even some of the more recent stuff that, well, it's Mahershala Ali, one of my favorite actors of all time. But the problem has been, like, when one of the screenplays allegedly was out, we were supposed to have the Daywalker and his daughter and his wife in the movie. I'm like, okay, that's fine, but why are we doing Blade and his daughter now? Shouldn't you build up your character, then do the wife, then do the daughter? Lilith was in the film as well, but it's like, no one knew where it was going to go. But it's been delay after delay after delay to Mahershala Ali even saying that if the film doesn't get made, I'm walking. Which I don't blame him.
And to his credit, he did. He did.
I mean, did he finally walk? I don't think he's walked quite yet.
If I were him, I would do it now while he has the moral high ground right now of understanding, like, look, we tried, but people aren't listening, and I'm just going to walk away.
You had too many cooks in the kitchen. I mean, again, this is Blade. This is not a hard character to nail down. Again, the line from Deadpool, which I'm going to quote, if there's ever only going to be one Blade.
Hell,
it's true.
Give it to Ryan. Give it to Ryan Reynolds. Let him direct it. He knows what he's doing.
I don't. No, you mean Sean Levy? You mean Sean Levy?
Yeah.
Probably give it to Sean Levy or give it back to Guillermo before he goes back to his animation roots because he wants to do more animation projects after Frankenstein, which is coming out Netflix in the fall, which I'm like, I wish I could get that in the big theaters, but you know
Ooh.
what? It's fine. It's fine. I trust Netflix to at least get it out for the Oscar season, so at least it'll have a chance then. But it just goes to show you that New Line got 3 films out the door, where Disney Marvel over here, it's like, what do we do with this character? It's an action movie. All you have to do is have him in Transylvania, just cut his beard a bit. You know, he sees a vampire threat, it's like, I can't retire or some shit. And then have an action movie. Or have somebody find Blade and be like, we need your help. I'll pay you. That's it. That's all you got to do. It's a vampire action film. 3 Wesley Snipes films. 3 out the door quickly. Done. Marvel's like, what do we do? 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 You know, not everything needs to be connected. This could have been like a solo film in the background. They even did Dan. They even did Dan from Eternals, who should have been the Black Knight in one of the movies. But like, that's all you have to do. Just set up the damn fucking movie.
You could make the same argument with the Spawn movie, a completely a completely badass character.
They got it out the door.
They got it out the door. I rewatched that movie, the 1997 movie.
Really?
Actually enjoyed it. To this day, I still enjoyed it. I'm like, this is probably and we got the right character, we got the right guy. 2 of the characters violated.
Some of the outfits might look a little ridiculous, they're still wearing the correct outfits. Like, you know what? It's the character, that's how they wore them. Who cares? It's the right outfit, as Bubba would say. They're wearing the outfits. When you see them pose like that, they're wearing them. Even again, look at the old Daredevil movie with Kingpin. Again, who are you really going to get at that time who's got the right height, the right build to be Kingpin? When he came down that escalator wearing the cane and everything, the suit, it's like, Kingpin. There he is. Kingpin. And no one complained that back then. But we're complaining nowadays because of, like, well, this is a movie about Blade, and you're keying up. You have a 2-time Oscar winner here who should get people in their seats right away. You have a great actor who's like, damn, who's telling us this movie was insane and crazy. Hello, this is
we have money. Me and Joker are willing to go to a theater. We're willing to go to a theater.
Pay this standalone, not be connected to anything. Just be like, let them fight vampires. Let them fight Dracula. That's it. Easy money. But instead, I have Nosferatu. It's like, I got a vampire film out. Look at Sinners. Look at Sinners. 100 million domestic at the box office for this amazing horror film. 100 million domestic.
I see a few.
Only had a 10% drop.
Scenes.
Yet Marvel is dropping like crazy every single week. Ryan Coogler got his vampire film out the door. And you know what? In an interview, he was asked, hey, what's your favorite vampire? He said Blade. Marvel, you're up over here. And this film, to me, it should be canceled at this point. It should be.
It should. I'm on the favor of the cancel. I'm hitting the cancel button with due respect. I did see a few scenes from Sinners yesterday when I was at work and everything. I actually liked it. Of the scenes that I did get to see, it looked really good, and I'm like, okay, we got
70 millimeters. Movie.
Yeah, and it was believable. Like the dialogue, some of the dialogue I heard, I'm like, holy shit, they're diving into heavy shit here. I wanted to stay. I would, and that's the worst part about all this. I wanted to sit in my seat. I wanted just to sit in the empty seat right next to me. I wanted to sit down and watch it, but I had to remind myself I'm at work here. I had to remind myself, and that's what's so hilarious about what I do. It's like, oh,
you want to watch, but you gotta walk down the aisle, make sure nobody's got their phones up, no feet. Like, you can watch a few seconds. It's like, all right, back to work. I know how that gig is. I've seen employees that I've liked just watching and be like, "How's the movie?" I'm like, one of the managers, I don't think she works there no more, but whenever I walked in, she's like, "So, what movie have we seen today?" Or like, "How many times have you seen that film?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm going for the second time, or third time, or fourth time." Well, everybody knows me
Yeah.
at my theater, so I'm like, they know if I'm coming in often enough. I'm like, "Which movie is
Oh,
this?"
Joker, if you came to the theater, my gig is that I would take so good care of you. I would take very good care of you. Be like,
Mm-hmm.
here you go, Joker. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
But
They
jokes
should
aside,
cancel. But jokes aside, they really should cancel Blade because it's a bummer. It's been over 2 decades, no, if not, yeah, 2 decades since we got a last Blade movie. I know there's a Blade game in works by the good Arcane Studios over there in Europe, but even then, I'm still like, well, once again, like Wolverine and so many others, expect another 4 to 5 years in the horrendous game development cycle for how long these AAA games are coming out the door.
I
And by the
actually
time it comes
finished.
out, I'm just going to be like, well, this better be worth the wait since no Blade movie, zero hype, even if the gameplay trailer is good. It's like you got nothing. I'm sorry, but
That's what worries me, and we can like trace it back to the Wonder Woman game we talked about 5 weeks ago.
announced so many years ago, just never got
It
off the
look
ground.
the tragedy, and ladies and gentlemen, the cover art for the Wonder Woman game was spot on. Like the most
Yeah,
accurate one
Gigantica,
we've
Cersei,
had.
Cheetah, bunch of armies in the background. I'm like, this could be good, but $100 million down the drain. How do you take a well-known Nemesis system that WB patent that won't be out for decades for people to use again, and try to make it a friendship? Like you want to, like it's just it's action game. I don't care if you try to get allies or not. Let me just kill them all.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, please, it's close, but sadly, it's not meant to be. And it's just sad that how long things are taking. But speaking of how long things are taking, did you know we had the great Christopher Waltz in Alita Battle Angel?
Oh, yes. Yes.
And I remember when Disney Fox were bringing out the DVDs and Blu-rays. They're like, "All right, you want a sequel? Buy this." I'm like, and I'm doing my part. But but finally, not big updates, but they're dropping stuff. Like, please make the sequel. I want the sequel.
So what's going on all here, ladies and gentlemen? Alita Battle Angel director drops exciting update on long-awaited sequel. Hang on 1 second, let me flip this over a little bit. It's been 6 years since Alita Battle Angel was released in theaters. Oh, Jesus Christ, 6 years. Wow. Wasn't even that long ago. Was not that long ago, ladies and gentlemen, because I remember the flame wars we've been in. Like all the Captain Marvel tinfoiled hat wearing clowns were going after us because this movie was kicking the crap out of Captain Marvel. Not one. Go to any physical DVD section, you would see lines of Alita Battle Angel. And where was Captain Marvel? Where was the Captain Marvel DVD? There was only like you would see probably like maybe 5 or 6 copies of it if you're lucky. But Alita Battle Angel really upset the standard. It looked at Marvel, it looked at Captain Marvel, and it's like, I could do it better, bitch. Stand aside.
I still
And
remember the encounter I had, or like what I heard from speaking about Captain Marvel when the first Captain Marvel movie was out. Me and my friend Trent, we went to the theaters, and I was just not having a good time with that movie. Everything, I'm like it's fine, but it's not good fine. It's just the bad fine. I'm like, I remember the movie was done and everything. I just hear this no offense to this little child at that time many years ago. The mom asked, like, about the movie, and she's like, that's the best movie I ever saw. And I just walked out the door, didn't say anything until me and my friend discussed about it, but like Captain Marvel, it's like nothing really in the first Captain Marvel movie really sparked my interest in the character again. I always preferred her as Ms. Marvel in the iconic black and gold outfit, and even when they kind of go past that, I'm like, oh, you are just teasing me. You are just teasing me with that outfit. So there's not that. But when Alita Battle Angel came out, I said, holy shit, I didn't read the manga, but I'm like, this is what I want for these characters. Not just females, but males. Give us a character's journey. Give us an arc. Anime face aside, this was a great movie. I know there's parts that they missed or didn't stay on long enough. But even as a fan of Japanese manga, I said, if the creator likes it, great. I like this movie. I want to get into the manga. How do I find the manga? Someone please give me a link to the manga, and I will buy it and read it. And I said, damn, I need a sequel.
It did not hold back. It did not hold back on the shock value, but it was done right. Because you see Alita get her ass kicked real bad, and it's like it was heart-wrenching to watch.
It was. I actually liked those scenes, actually, when she got the crap beat out of her, or they were fighting on one of the moons in outer space. I'm like, dude, this looks sick, but it goes by so quick. I'm like, boy, that was it. I want to learn more, and that's how the film gets you in. Like, you want to learn more about her past and everything. And I said this multiple times. Thank God the great Christoph Waltz was in this movie. Want to know why? Without him, I would have been lost. But he made everything sound believable. Like he was a part of this world. Like he when he picked up Alita in the manga, he does dance with it. But this, you just see this be his wonderful acting on his face when he's looking at Alita. It's like, well, look at you. Like, you wonder, like, what did he find? What did he get? He's a great actor. He made every scientific advanced thing in this film sound like, yeah, I believe you, Doc. I believe you. Or when he walks into the bar when Alita wants to fight everybody, and he's like, no fighting, or no free repairs.
and that's what we love. And that's what we love about him. That's what we loved about that movie. He took the role seriously. You could tell he took it seriously. And that's what we ask. Just take the role, make it good. And he understood the assignment, and the scenes were believable. And I'm like, we need more with you, sir. We need more with you.
He's a great actor. I'm glad Tarantino found him because he got his first Oscar for Inglourious Bastard. He would win again in Django. And actually, Jamie Foxx said that the idea for Christopher Waltz, he's going to read the screenplay, but he's going to memorize it, but do all these little things. Like all these little things. Like, in Django Unchained, he goes like, when you first see him, he's like, calm yourself, gentlemen. I'm just a humble trap. One more time. Calm yourself, gentlemen. I'm just merely but a humble traveler. But Jamie kept saying, me and Leo were watching it. We're like, yeah. But the movie starts, it goes like, calm yourself, gentlemen. I'm nothing but a humble trap.
I love the subtlety movements he does.
He brings the character, like how he kept saying, like, calm yourself, gentlemen. But then he goes, but then it becomes very serious, like, oh, I'm sorry, stop.
Are you pointing at me? Are you pointing that weapon at me with malicious intent to harm, sir? And it's like, last chance, fancy pants. He's like, oh, very well. Drops the lantern and pulls out the gun. I'm like, that is how you do it.
Like it's layers. It's all the little things he brings to these characters that he's gonna do.
I didn't even see the gun come out. This is how great he was.
Technically speaking, he's hiding in his coat pocket, and when you look very close to the film again, he's hiding it, and it's a misdirection. he wants you to see the lamp. That's why he wants him to drop it. It's like, okay.
And truth be told, I would have probably gotten shot upon that because my focus was on the lamp. My focus was on the lamp too, so I probably would have gotten shot too because I didn't see the gun.
Said he's such a great actor, and you learn more things about acting because of him. He even said it took him so long just to fold the paper in the movie. Like, he writes stuff down, but it's like he should just fold it, but it took him forever to fold it and then put him in his pocket. He's like, I've learned things with Waltz. And him being Alita, I'm like, thank God you're in this. Thank God you're in this. Because I would have been like, okay, whoever's playing this, I'm so lost. But with Christoph, he made it so believable that I could be in this world with him. I could have been one of the assistants or people who are, I got shot, I got beat up. Well, got to go to the dog to patch me up. So I'm like, that's how believable he is. And I think my favorite line in this film is when she finally puts on the armor and everything. And he says, this is just your body. It's not good or bad. That part's up to you. I'm like, that simple line. Yet he says it so effectively. How he goes, it's not good or bad. It's up to you. He changes the words. He changes his pitch, his speed from going like he's nervous, but at that time and moment, he knows that that's up to you. Wonderful acting, wonderful actor. I wish I could meet him one day. I wish I could.
It's things like that is why Battle Angel Alita was so successful. The escapism is there. The storytelling is there. The characters remarkably well done. I watched the animated series when I got home, like the anime. Oh, sorry, not the series.
The OVAs.
The OVAs. It was shot for shot on. I want to say, well, you did mention there were some scenes missing, and I will agree with you. There were some scenes that were.
The manga's longer, so go for the manga, but scenes missing. Obviously, some shots weren't going to quite be up there with the manga, like with Alita and her friend. They're going up to the city that's in the sky. I can't remember what it's called, with them on the tubes. Obviously, in the movie, that's a day shot, or in the manga, it's more of a night shot with the stars. So I'm like,
and I understand that doesn't change. With that, I could see why they made the change. I could see why the change was there. I could see it. And I will agree, though, the manga is just as cool. Like with that shot and everything, it's cool at night as well. But I understand the why. And I get it. Subtle changes here and there. It's a subtle change. Completely fine with me. I still hail it as a movie worth watching because it's pure escapism, which we desperately need in our movies, Joker. Do we not? We need more escapism.
Good escapism.
And this is the purest example of this.
Like, you can still talk about stuff in warfare. Oh, me and my friend, we got talking about everything in warfare, about like our men and women fighting these wars, what happens to stuff that goes horribly wrong, but then coming back with that experience of like, shit, I just lived through that. I mean, you can still talk about that stuff, but it's nice to have that perfect balance of escapism, and we should talk about a few things. But anyway, let's continue with the article, because there's still hope, folks.
Yes.
At least.
And it's been a few years since James Cameron announced that a sequel is in the works. While a release date has yet to be revealed, keyword, it's April 30th, 2025, ladies and gentlemen, as of this breakdown. Its director, Robert Rodriguez, shared his thoughts on the project's progress. In an interview with Joe Rogan, Rodriguez emphasized that Alita's journey in the Iron City is far from over and said he wanted to make another movie based on Yukito Kishiro's manga series. The filmmaker has previously stated that he was doubtful that a sequel would come to light due to Disney's acquisition of 20th Century Fox, which is the biggest fucking mistake on the planet. But his mindset changed when he saw more Fox films coming out. If a follow-up feature were to be made, he and Cameron would have enough material to make 2 more movies. Well, let's focus on the one movie first, and then we'll go from there.
Sadly,
It
at this moment, Cameron's busy with Avatar, which, again, I will give him a little sidetrack. I will give him his word. He's staying true to his word. If Avatar 2 and 3 weren't successful, there won't be 4, 5, and 6. And sadly, 2 was successful after waiting all those years. So it's like, uh-oh, gotta do Avatar 3, even though they were both shot back to back. So if the third film's even more successful or gets close enough, it's gonna be like, well, here we go, 4, 5, and 6, here we go. But and the thing is, Cameron was truly busy with Avatar, and he's in a meeting with Robert, and Robert did say, "What about Alita?" He's like, "I can't quite direct it right now," and he said, well, "What if I directed it?" And you can tell Cameron was very much passionate about Alita, and even he said, we cut the manga, close enough, but there were changes that you have to make it fit. But Cameron was not upset. Like, you can tell he was still happy. Maybe some changes weren't as good, but it's like, you know what? I'm not too mad because we're still making it. We're getting it on the big screen. And the mangaka was there as well. So I'm like, hey, that was pretty cool. We got to see the film made.
exactly. And on top of that, I understand his reasonings, and believe you and me, we actually pushed for the sequel, like, make the sequel,
About
because
the
it's a
Blu-ray, Walt said that they
oh
should make the sequel.
oh man, it was good. That I'm glad this movie turned out to be a huge success, and I'm glad. And so, continuing on. It's not just Rodriguez who wants an Alita Battle Angel sequel. In 2022, Avatar: The Way of the Waters. Oh my god, that was so long ago. Holy crap! Producer
It's only 3
John,
years ago. Not that
uh,
long ago.
uh, producer John Landau also
Who sadly
expressed
passed away, sadly.
what?
Landau was, I believe it was John Landau.
Oh boy. Okay.
I believe it was because he's one of Cameron's long. Yep. John Landau. Yep. He sadly passed
Oh,
away last year. One of Cameron's longtime producers. So sadly, he won't be able to see the sequels or anything else Cameron will make.
also expressed interest
He
in seeing
expressed
one.
his like, I want a sequel too, and he said he knew if we're doing this, gotta do it right, but also we gotta show it to the mangaka. I'm like, so even he knew when to give credit where it's due.
Exactly. Saying he's been in talks with the director, meaning Rodriguez and James Cameron. But it's not ready to share a time frame yet. Meanwhile, Cameron said he's working on the project but had to share details on what he's been worked on so far. Keep in mind this was in 2022, so now we know now, hindsight is 2020. We now know what that project is and what's coming. We know what it is. Um, so for those, so let's see, it's going into what Alita Battle Angel's all about. For everybody that's seen the series, um, really good. Go watch it. The movie's really good as well. We love it. We give our seal of approval of an anime done right. I would say it's up there with the Sonic series and the Mario. I would say that. Like, it broke the trend of bad anime adaptations. Because remember, at the time, there was Dragon Ball Evolution that left a sour taste in
Well,
everybody's
technically
mouth.
speaking, Evolution is the big one that everybody knows. I bet you didn't know there was a Fist of the North Star adaptation.
Uh,
There is
uh,
there is one. and it's pretty bad. I bet you
Oh
know there was Bet you didn't know there was a Gintama adaptation. Pretty funny,
no!
actually. No, they nailed it. It was Japanese adaptation, so pretty funny. They got it right. Hell, the first scene in the film is this, guys. I think there's somebody watching us, and they break the fourth wall right away. I'm like,
Okay, that I can forgive. That I can forgive
it
if
was
it's
pretty funny. They were in the right outfits, the right costume, so that was pretty funny. Again, there's multiple Death Notes adaptation. Take your pick. There's a JoJo adaptation. They skipped to Diamond's Unbreakable, and I still gotta say, Yasuke still looks. I mean, ugh. Part 4 JoJo,
it's
he
okay.
still looks ridiculous with that haircut. But there's a reason why it's anime, folks, and not live action. But there's only one
But
person who made the outfit look worked, and that was Jotaro's actor. I'm like, thank God he was in it. But you didn't know there's a Japanese adaptation of Yakuza Like a Dragon. There is. Many, many years ago. I mean, it's fine, but it's meh. I mean, if you're a
and keep in
Yakuza
mind
fan, you might like it,
this
but
is coming from one of the biggest Yakuza fans out there, ladies
I
and
mean,
gentlemen.
here's the thing. Got into 2-0. It's a Japanese adaptation many, many years ago. I mean, like, it's fine for what it is. If you take it for what it is, it's fine, but it's all right, I guess. At least Majima's cool in that film, so I'm like, yeah, he's fine. But anyway, back to the article.
Um now here's the big question though. Are all these actors and actresses willing to come back to it?
I think
That's
Rosa
the
said yes. So Alita's main actor said, yes, I will come back. So, yay!
which is good. I would like to see Christopher Waltz again. Oh wait, didn't his Joker
Christoph
refresh my
Waltz.
Christoph Waltz? Refresh my memory, Joker. Did his character die in the movie,
Oh, no,
or
I
is he?
think he's still alive. Bro. I
Okay,
think he's
then
still alive.
then we're good for him to come back. Okay, I wanted to make sure because I
Definitely
didn't want to
want him
make
to come back. Like,
assumptions.
he's got to come back. It's the Jennifer Connelly's character who's dead.
Ah, okay. Dr. Dyson, Aldo Kian Johnson, and Marshall. Oh, speaking of Blade, Marshall
Oh, he did
Ali,
die. I think he did die because he got like,
As Vector.
I think Vector did die because
Okay, so we can't have we can't have Marshall Ali back then.
unless he's alive in manga, that's one thing. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. So here's the thing. According to Anime News Network, Alita Battle Angel entered pre-production in 2003. Wow, holy crap. Even in 03. Wow. But it was in developmental hell due to camera working on the Avatar movie. Upon its release in 2019, Alita Battle Angel was well loved by fans, receiving a high 91% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Suck it, Rotten Tomatoes. Meanwhile, critics gave it a fair score of 61%. We all see it. Bought and paid for critics. Bought and paid for. That's the difference, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the scores. Look at the percentages. Audience loved it. The bought and paid for critics, they're exposed. And it's getting more and more obvious by the day. So we all know who the paid people are. Those were Disney plants right there. They were plants. We now know. Anyway, that aside, additionally, the film generated over 404 million. 404 million, Joker. Marvel would be shitting bricks just to get revenue. Just to get that on their movies. But not one Marvel movie came close to that in that time frame after Endgame. Not one. Not one. And that's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. And an anime adaptation movie hits the big triple digits in the millions. Meanwhile, Marvel can't even A fucking joke. And was nominated for numerous awards such as Best Science Fiction Film at the Saturn Awards. I need to see the Saturn Awards a lot more. I heard that was pretty good. Alita Battle Angel is available on Steam to stream on Fubo. Meanwhile, its sequel has yet to announce a release date. So, in essence, ladies and gentlemen, me and Joker are very happy to hear that we got something going for this movie, for the sequel, and we'll take any news that we can get. And the good news is, it's not rumor. It's not rumor. It's coming from Rodriguez himself and everybody else. But we will put this on things to watch in the coming months. It may not happen overnight, ladies and gentlemen, but we will stay on this one as best as we humanly can. So as of April 30th, this is the update right now of 2025. So if I have to make a ballpark assumption here, and I could be wrong, we might look at a 2026 release date of 2026.
Or
That is probably the safest safe bet.
28, possibly 29. Hopefully they're not waiting too long, because they're getting, the older you get, more
The harder it is.
Do it, or even just people putting the money on you. So hopefully we can see it. Also, I will still say this: Captain Marvel send kids to theaters with on the talk show. James Cameron and his team, scientists over there, they gave a girl prosthetics that would grow with her, and they sent her to Alita Battle Angel. I think that's way more powerful than just sending them to a movie. It's prosthetics that will grow with her. I'm like, wow, you get to have, that's amazing. That's true change right then and there.
Exactly. And it's a very interesting concept. It's like, prosthetics actually grow with you?
Battle Angel, it does have prosthetic characters in here, and how believable they are. They don't really shove in your face. They're just working at the hospital. It's like, dude, this is so cool. At his little mini clinic, I was like, this is so cool to see.
And here's the thing, Joker. It's not beyond the realm of possibility. It's not beyond the realm of that.
Even the first body she gets, Gerald does state that these were my daughters, or were meant to be his daughter until the incident happened.
And that character, that wonderful character, that guy needs a hug. He needs a hug.
That's why he has.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's why he has Alita.
Yep. I would pay big money to go see the sequel. I am ready.
We need the sequel.
My wallet's ready.
And I think right now it is the time to strike. I think because everybody's looking at Netflix's One Piece, which is going to come out hopefully next year, because they're keeping an eye on it. Oda Sensei's been on top of the project for years. A lot of great casting, great costumes, great set. I just need Zoro to be more of a goofball, just a little bit, not Mr. Serious, because I love McKenyu and he loves serious roles, but I know he can be a goofball. Just let him be a little bit of a goofball in season 2, and I'm like, I got it. I got the cast. I know the announcement of Claymore, which we talked about weeks back ago, is still giving me the wrong vibes. Like, I finally get a Claymore adaptation after all these years, and it's not an anime, it's live action. Maybe they're trying to market it as like, get the Game of Thrones crowd in here, which, to be fair, that's the right crowd you want. Your Vikings, your Game of Thrones, Last Kingdom fans, get them as well. I'm hoping for the best for that one, but I have no faith. Yeah. But with all the announcements,
but we have yet to see
a ton of anime adaptations that might get a live action adaptation sooner than later. I think this is the time to strike. Do it now while it's hot in the water before people go, all right, we're done with that. Go back to adapting animation again.
Exactly. I think we did cover the claim. I think we
We
covered the
did. We
claim.
did a few
Yeah,
weeks
we
back
did
ago. I
cover
brought
it,
that up again.
and I still stand on my previous comments, but till until we see like
Those
a
first
teaser
looks.
trailer, the first
I'm
looks
looking for
we're gonna
first
hold.
looks or like who gets
Yeah,
hired to begin with.
yes, and then because we did mention we're gonna hold our judgment until we see the first set of who the cast is gonna be, who's directing it, who's doing this, who's doing that, until we have more concrete evidence to build more up on our first initial thoughts on it. It may change in the long run, but we'll wait. Time will tell. But for now, we need those first looks before we give our honest opinion on it,
You know what
because
time
we don't
doesn't
want.
tell? Being Marvel and their executives about Marvel Rivals. You have a hot game on you. You have all these
Oh,
wonderful characters being cosplayed and characters that we forgot about or who should get a resurgence, like Magica got a resurgence big time. Outside of that shitty god off. Look, do you even know what they were doing for the New Mutants when that movie came out? I remember waiting years for this movie. I'm like, this is gonna be great. Walk in. I'm excited. One of the first movies I'm seeing, one of the first few movies I'm seeing again. I'm excited. Movie starts. Okay, here we go. And then my excitement went from, oh yeah, up to,
oh,
and I remember saying, talking to everybody in this theater, we're all like, that's it? That's the movie? And I'm like, that's it? I waited maybe it was a horror film, maybe it wasn't a horror film, but I just kept saying, that's the New Mutants? I waited 2 years, 2 years of pandemics, 2 years of lockdowns, delays, and there was rumors about them changing the storyline, adding a brand new character that might have been false and whatnot. But that poor movie just had terrible luck. Also, how was I not supposed to know that Anya Taylor Joy was Magica? I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. She had that metal arm and everything. I'm like, okay, that was pretty cool. And then she did the sword. I'm like, wait, she was Magica? She was Magica. I was like, maybe they just didn't say her name. I'm like, well, they did, but I'm like, she was Magica. I'm like, now I'm going like, huh, well, I guess that's on me for not paying attention. No, I did pay attention, but just like, she was Magica. I'm like, huh, well then. I know, it just happens. You just forget for so long. Like, she was Magica. Wow. I want to know, now I want to know how many Magica cosplayers are going to come up to her asking for an autograph.
right.
But anyway, Marvel
Well,
Rivals. Marvel, your executives. What are they saying right now? What are you saying? Take it away.
Marvel comic executive editor says Marvel Rivals has no effect on print. Believes character popularity has more to do with play mechanics than it does the characters themselves. What? What? That's like saying uh uh Luffy is based on the like in the One Piece game, based on character mechanics than the character himself. Luffy has been through so much. What? Oh my god, what a mess! And you cannot hate these people enough, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot hate these people enough. And this further proves and backs my theory that we need to put fans back in these rooms. Put them in the executive rooms, the writing rooms, everything. And believe me, give it give it uh give it a few months, you'll see magnificent change. Okay, Callie, have a wonderful day at work, buddy. Have a
Okay,
wonderful
thank
day.
you for stopping
Thank
by.
you for and also thank you for the shout out on Rumble. I'm trying that platform out actually.
Yep.
So
So
let
my
me
problem
know.
with all this, you have a hit game right now, which there are some comics coming out that kind of detail a bit more what's going on behind the scenes for most of us who are just playing this as a pretty good hero shooter. And there's stuff that is moving the story along nicely. So again, if you want to learn more, go pick those issues up. That'll definitely help out the sales for the game itself, but also get people to realize we need to get comics going. But to tell you that, oh, it has no effects on comic sales. Maybe in the long run it won't, but if you want people to buy your comics, people who say, "Who's Emma Frost?" which I remember seeing her in
Oh,
X-Men First Class. They had
dude,
that version of
Emma,
Emma Frost.
wow, this Emma Frost, holy crap!
She's
Is it
beautiful. Like
is it
she's
hot
a
in here or
tank.
is
She's
it
the
me?
Vanguard in this game. Also, it's very great if you have her and you hear Scarlet Witch go off with pure when they're doing their chaos, when they're about to do their ultimate. And if you go into her diamond mode and you see the Scarlet Witch, when you go into her diamond mode, you can actually grab people with one of the abilities and just throw them down. So hearing pure chaos now goes from
Ooh.
pure chaos going off to not going off, and I can kill them. Oh, the pain when you heard that shot. It's like, just shut up. Because it one shots people because it's chaos. So much, oh, it's so good. And she's a good tank, actually. Pretty good tank. But the thing is this, you have people cosplaying so many of these characters now, or getting a reintroduction. Like again, look at Hawkeye when he was in the Avengers. It's like how many people finally remember Hawkeye after all these years? A lot of us probably did. And he's more popular. Thank you for making him popular again. Again, Iron Man went from a D-list character to an
To an
A-list character.
Actually, I will further back this up because remember, I went to Game on Expo not that like a couple of weeks back, like 4 or 5 weeks ago. I saw various cosplays. I saw Wolverine. I saw Deadpool, Psylocke. Heck, I even saw. I never thought I would live long enough to see this get cosplayed. The White Queen. The White Queen series.
The White Queen herself. Did you get a photo?
The White
If you
Queen.
did not,
I wish I did, but here's the reason. She was shopping in the booths, like she was looking in the booths and everything. And you and I both know we don't bother cosplayers if they're shopping. We don't do that. We can wait. We could go around a little bit and probably run into them again. But I respect the boundary here. If she wasn't shopping, then yes, I would not have hesitated for a photo. But even I, even we have standards because I don't want to be rude and come off as rude and everything when she's shopping for something and everything. Because remember, we're all human as well. We go and shop anyway. But it was really really cool though, from what I saw. Really cool, down to the letter. Down to the letter. It looked like she popped out of the comic book herself. That's how good it was. And and I did see a Rogue cosplay, a good one. I wish I got in the photo, but I did. But some of the old photos I have from previous cons, I got in one with Mystique. I nearly got one with a guy who actually one of my friends, Joker, one of my cosplay friends, who's hopefully going to be at Fan Fusion in June. Guess who he's cosplaying as?
okay. Is it an X-Men character or is it?
Yes,
Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna say he's a villain then.
yes.
Okay, God. I gotta think some of them villains lineups. Okay. Is it one of them? You gotta think. It's not okay. It's not Logan's rival. It's not Sabretooth.
No.
Okay. Ooh, that would have been hot. Okay,
Actually, you know what? I might pitch that to him. I might pitch.
Damn. Okay.
Remember, he has the height. My friend is really tall. He has the height and the build for that.
Tall.
So I will. I will pitch that to him next time I see him. Next time I see him.
Not one of Scarlet Witch's friends. So I'm like, it's not her crew. He's not gonna be Quicksilver. He's not gonna be Quicksilver. He's not gonna be Frog.
Ironically, I could see him as Quicksilver. I could.
And I prefer Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver as villains. I mean, I'm fine with them being anti-heroes for now, but I always prefer them as villains. X-Men Evolution, baby. They stayed villains. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, I give up. There's too many villains to think about. It's not Apocalypse, is it? It's not Apocalypse.
Magneto.
Oh, I was just about to say Magneto.
And he's literally building it himself, like the gauntlets, the helmet, everything. He showed me photos of it. It looks sick. I'm like, dude, I am hyped to see this in person. I'm hyped. I will get photos. Because he's like, well, when we meet. And I have to. So I'm officially going to Fan Fusion. I don't care how much it costs. I am
Are
going.
You going to be Charles Xavier? You should just be Charles.
Oh my god! I would.
You should do it.
I could probably do that.
Just
I would have to.
The king and then.
Hello. Oh man. Actually, 2B was there too. I did see that. Ah, okay. Hello, Fire Devil. So anyway, this aside, that aside, as per usual, Beervor offered this latest insight in the Marvel Comics behind-the-scenes operations during the Q&A portion of his most recent Man with the Hat Substack blog entry. And kicking off his weekly feature, the X-Men line editor chose to field a question regarding whether or not was anything readers can expect or anticipate for Cloak and Dagger in the next year, particularly in light of how, in the fans' opinion, it feels like they've never been more popular than they are right now, thanks to Marvel Rivals. That's actually a great question because Cloak and Dagger.
That's a great question. Because when you think about it,
Cloak and Dagger need more.
Are your sales getting increased more because of Rivals? Like, again, I knew Cloak and Dagger through the show. I'm like, okay, so they are rarities. I mean, they look amazing in the game. Actually,
I would pay money for this. I would love
Dagger
to see this.
is the healer, Cloak is the DPS. So, and they're in the strategist. So you can switch between them pretty much easily. So, and probably Dagger is probably the easiest to get assist on. So, if you're going for stuff that needs to be assist, don't go for Cloak and Dagger or people that are allowed to help you out. Anyways, so far so good for the Q&A. But then the answer.
Unfortunately, for not only the fan who asked said question, but also those hoping to see a potential comic book resurgence for characters such as Hela, Emma Frost, Penny Parker, or Adam Warlock, or in the case of Luna Snow, an initial comic book boom. Luna Snow, I haven't heard that name in forever. Beaveru intern explained.
She's in the game. Looks cool.
Brevru in turn explained that contrary to popular belief, he has seen little crossover between Marvel Rivals players and a demand for more comic books featuring a given hero. I tell you his words, and I'm going to quote him on this. I tell you, said Brevru, I tend to think that popularity in Marvel Rivals likely has more to do with play mechanics than it does the characters themselves. Which is to say that I haven't seen any major correlation between popularity in the game and a rise of interest in a character in outside maybe one or two outliners. That said, we're planning to do something with Cloak and Dagger in the near future so that potential audience will have something to take a look at.
Let's talk about like Cloak and Dagger for a bit. Well, at least he's not saying no. He's saying, well, there's going to be something with Cloak and Dagger in the future. I don't know what currently they're doing with them with the comics, since at this point stage, I don't buy Marvel or DC comics. I want to support indie developers the best as possible that I can. Like, again, if he wasn't such a badass on Twitter, this is what I got, big boy.
Holy
Welcome to Reaper
shit!
Destroyer. A passion
Oh,
project that took very, very long. So if you love 80s, 90s dark heroes, this is the comic for you. And since I got the big, huge box,
those are beautiful.
These are the actual cover variants. So
and signed. You got signed.
some of them are signed with base, and actually almost all of them are signed. So
who's the artist's name? Let's give him a shout out.
okay, hold on. Actually, I will. Hold on a second. I got to do that on my Twitter account right here. Actually, I can do that right here. Actually, so notifications, mentions.
Yeah, let's give this man a shout out.
You want a shout out? All right. So
we here at Knightcast.
Let me find it. It should be right around here somewhere. Because he does want to hear my opinion, so I will get to it. Don't worry. Don't worry. Here he is. So here we go. Oh, sweet.
Oh, hold on. Let me. There we go.
There we go. So good old Joe. So Joe M. Stat. So this is the guy for the Reaper Destroyer comic book. So it was
that looks
his passion
nice.
project for the longest time. And Joe he's a wonderful creator. He's wonderful to work with. You know, I will try to find some more stuff, but he's been liking a bunch of stuff lately for Reaper Destroyer, along with, you know, spreading some really good words about comic books stuff and everything. Like, you know, he's really into comic books. He's really into stuff. So, like, this was 2 nights ago, but he really is good at really getting things, you know, like out the door. Like, he's talking about comics, the industry, and whatnot. So, hold on. Let me see if I can actually go to media, because he does post a lot on there for Reaper Destroyer. Come on, where's some? Come on, but all right. But Joe is really good with all this wonderful stuff. So, but he's really wonderful. He's really wonderful. Joe's a great guy. So, again, some of the stuff is really cool. Like, the box came with all these wonderful different variants, and one of them I got. If you want to zoom in on this one, you actually, this one of the variants that I'm going to keep this one in is full black and white. So black and white version. So now you really can get and see these beautiful colors. But also on the back, look at this. Look at this.
Wow.
I was like one of the really early adopters. So it took a while to get this, but this was worth it. So this is why you support creators. Wonderful. So Joe, I'm gonna read this soon. Don't worry, I will, brother. And I backed this up because I'm like, this looks cool. I want to help it out. And just like with Mandy Summers with Jack the Ripper, which I have here. I can't quite find that right now, but this is why I love creators. They know the industry, they know how things are done, how things are handled, and things are just wonderful like this, because this is what you want to see. Them getting the passion project out the door. It did go through a couple
Setbacks.
a little bit, some personal, to others slightly leaving, but another guy helping him out finish the comic book, and this is still great. Like, this is wonderful. Oh, I think this one's my personal favorite with the variants, because I'm like, this is probably what I would see at a video
That's
store.
beautiful.
Like, this is what
That's
like,
beautiful.
I might pick that up as a game
Joe,
right then and there.
Joe, man, we love this.
There are wonderful artists. There's a couple more artists that worked on this as well. So some of these covers are also different. I think some of these are different variants by different other comic book artists out there. So if some of them do recognize them, Joe, please let me know. But to all the teams that did work on this, to get stuff out the door, wonderful. I know some of these I'm like, can I slightly open? No, I don't want to open that. But there's some really cool stuff in here. So like, even like, I think this is like a sketch. I think this is back here. So, but even some of the more metal stuff, I'm like, this is so cool. So again, you guys like dark heroes, dark comic books, Reaper Destroyer is for you. And like I showed earlier, there is a some more stuff coming down. So that's great. And again, look at this. I love stuff like this. This is wonderful. And again, he went back years ago, like even like the early stages of what it used to look like. Like, well, that doesn't look, it looks good, but maybe I'll come back to it later. And I'm glad people like Joe, so many others, it's like, you know what? I really want to get that out the door. Let's try it again. And it took a while, but I'm so glad it came out. I love to make people's dreams come true. This is why you go indie. The indie scene will always boom and will always be there. So Joe, I will read a comic. I'll let you know what I think about it. So I'm glad I got it. I'm glad it finally came in. So that's why you go indie.
This is our personal shout out to the wonderful man, because really interesting dude. Reaper Destroyer, hey, I'll back that any day. I'll back that any day over the current people who are
if he does another issue, go for it. You will, I think we'll report on that issue if this does get an issue number 2. So I would love to see that.
I think he does mention it.
So when it goes live, I think we'll be here for that. So
I think he said Brett Booth cover for Reaper Destroyer 2 launching in July.
In July, okay.
Wow, we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. So July, you know what? June and July are shaping to be really good. I'm excited for what's coming and everything.
There's a lot of cool stuff coming out. But going back to what Marvel Rivals, what this executive is saying, you can kind of hear what he's saying a little bit. Like, yeah, Marvel Rivals is successful, but is that translating to comic book sales? It could be a yes, it could be a no. He didn't give quite specific details, but when stuff like this is successful, perhaps you should take a gamble and be a bit and be like, well, we should do something with Marvel Rivals. Like I said, there are comic books out there for Rivals, but you could argue the fact how many people are picking them up, who aren't, how many of them are getting into the characters because of the gameplay and the characters themselves. But like we said, you see a lot of female cosplayers dressing up as the characters. You know, we saw people complain about Sue Storm in her evil outfit, which is canon to the books. Again, her sexy outfit, which is all evil and everything, like that's canon to the books, folks. She wore that outfit when she was evil. And it's like you're complaining about that when it's canon. Canon. Look at Magica. People are cosplaying Magica after all these years. Like, look at Squirrel Girl. Go back to Squirrel Girl.
Like, look, I saw multiple cosplays of that. I saw multiple cosplays.
I'm ready for my convention in November. I don't know who I'm going to see for Marvel characters, but there are a couple Guardians a few years back ago that we found. We found our Lokis. I don't think I showed you, but we did find, Red Guardian, a few others. This guy cosplaying Red Guardian. Oh my god, he was amazing. Like, he got David Harbour's lines down and everything. Like, yeah, it's Captain America, my greatest episode. I couldn't stop laughing at this guy. This guy was awesome. I said, don't forget to take down Captain America. He's like, oh, he's got. Oh, we did find a cap, though. My friend loves cap, so, and everything. And this wonderful captain cosplayer was like, hey, when I see you're worthy, because he had Mjolnir with him. I love these cosplayers. They're wonderful, but I can see what he's saying from a business standpoint. But if Rivals is successful, maybe take a gamble shot. Maybe do a crossover with stuff. Like, do something that's cool with them. Again, if Magic is popular, do something with the New Mutants again. Please. Do something with these characters and be like, well, they're not going to buy the comic book, but One Piece. But Invincible, like, saw resurgence in the comics after the first season. Like, people were trying to buy comics of Invincible. They wanted to learn more of what was going to happen next in the later seasons. They want to get caught up. And, like, you can't. When stuff is successful, people want to buy stuff. I'm sure there were more sales for One Piece after how good season 1 was with its complaints. But when you have support from Oda Sensei, 2 weeks later, he gets the news, the green light. Yeah, you can tell them we're doing season 2. We're going to season 2. You got the support of the Japanese cast, a lot of them praising the actors who are playing these iconic characters. It's like, that should say something huge to you. You should do something. Hell, even when Oda was like, okay, we're going to production for season 2, he drew the live action cast as their characters. Not his characters, but as his characters. Actually, he drew Emily Rudd as Nami, Inekio as Luffy, Mikenyu as Zoro, all of them as their characters. I'm like, how often do you get that? The creator drawing you. That's wonderful. That's amazing. Like, do something with these characters. Even if you got to do a small mini arc, take the gamble, pay these artists, be like, all right, we'll do something cool with these characters. Do something. They did the weird one-shot with Attack on Titan. I know, it's a weird one-shot, but that was it. So why can't you do something with Marvel Rivals? Like, please do something with these characters, or just do something with them. If they're getting popular, just maybe ask around the panels. People are coming to visit you and be like, do you want to do something with these characters? Just ask people, please. Is it that hard to do? I mean, I see easy money on the wall here. And even it's just for the gaming
I would love to.
How many of the gaming odds are going to buy that? I think they would.
I would love to learn about Galactica. I would love to learn more about her, where she came from, everything. You could build. You could build a standalone comic based on her, and it's money.
I mean, remember Jack the Shark. I did not know this character existed until the games, and Dash does say, like, that is one of the new characters. I'm like, that's a new character? I'm like,
that's a new character? Wait, when?
Since when?
Like Sergeant Rock from earlier. We never heard that before either.
It's
and
like,
that's what we like. That's what we like about this.
Say, well, some of these characters been around, but people are like, but you knew Hawkeye? I knew Hawkeye during Earth Mightiest Avengers. That's how I got into him before the movie. But people say, like, Hawkeye's been around for a while.
But this is what we like. It's done right.
Characters. Hell, again, look at me saying that I did not know Anya Taylor-Joy was Magica. Even though Magica is supposed to be hold on a second. CGI bad. We got a big CG. There you go. It's supposed to be Colossus' sister. Yeah, Magica and Colossus are apparently brothers and sisters. I'm like, oh, wow. Well then, okay then. Like, okay, that's cool to know. Like, they're siblings. Like, don't you want to learn more about that? I'm like, I do. Put Colossus in the game. I'm sure he's going to be a Vanguard. Like, we should do stuff like that. Like, get the crossover stuff going, build stuff. But
Hey,
like I said,
Sailor George.
easy money. Maybe you don't want to spend the money, but you got to spend money to make money. We all know that at the end of the day. So, and you have this audience.
See,
Remember,
this
the
guy,
game is, yeah, like this
I would
game is
love
free to
to
play.
learn. You know what? I'm going to try and free up space on my computer and finally take the plunge. I put this game off for too long. And
It
the
is crossplay. You could be playing with me and Dad.
I am fully convinced of this game. Give me a minute here. Let me
Okay, so
look up real quick. Give me a moment.
like I'm saying at the end of the day, folks, they really should be doing something with the Marvel Rivals audience. Or like, hey, Marvel Rival fans, you want to learn more about your characters? Here's some new reprinted issues of your favorite characters. We will reprint these issues with their storylines, pick them up. And even if they don't buy that, your audience that's already been pre-established for decades, for centuries now, decades, are still going to be like, they'll reprint these issues again? They'll buy them. I'm sure they will buy them. Like, this is what people say. Like, you have a hit property, you have a hit game. Please do something with these characters. And again, if the Marvel Rival audience is going to buy them, I'm sure that established fan base that are like for stuff, they should still do this. I think Thanos might be an event boss. That would be pretty cool for a time event. But do something with these characters because we have Doctor Doom and Doctor 2099 Doom are fighting it out right now. Hence why the multiverse stuff is happening. Heck, even stuff with the new season with the X-Men versus Ultron. The stuff that I just completed to get some of the story events unlocked. Yeah, Ultron's back and he's smart. They thought they killed him, but it's like, nope, he's alive still. So it's like, oh shit. So it's like, that's pretty cool. It's also cool now for the Eternal Knights. Eternal Knights. Basically, with the whole Fantastic Four were over, we get to find out that Doctor Doom pretty much manipulates Dracula to get out of Transylvania and attack New York. That's why Tony and Mr. Fantastic are fighting over with how many we need to save the lives of New York City. But good old Triple J is thanking the Fantastic Four for helping out New York City while he has a disapproval of Tony Stark, which I always loved that, and why he's telling people, please stay indoors, do not go out. Let these team of heroes are going out do the job for you. That's cool world building. That's cool knowledge to learn.
It is. But this is shaping up to be really good. Marvel Rivals is probably like one of the cool games to come out.
I mean, I got 94 hours in the game already, so
that proves it. Joker, what is going on over at Apex? What's going on?
Apex Legends, wow. Well, apparently there's a new character that just came out, or
Go ahead. Continue on. Go ahead. We'll
So
tie
Apex
it into
Legends
here.
writer gets laid off 24 hours after the character she wrote is revealed, because that's what the gaming industry in 2025 looks like. Like, this was just news that popped up on my computer feed on my home screen, and then I'm like, what's this? What's this all about? And I'm like, really? A new character gets announced, and then it's like, you're fired. What? Not to mention, this is also coming
What?
off the report of another Titanfall game that was supposed to be an extraction shooter. That gets canceled as well, and they're focusing on other properties for Respawn to work on, like Star Wars and what possibly could be Titanfall 3. I'm like, really? Really? So a character you kind of wrote that could be liked or not liked, you kind of get fired. I'm like, wow, really? This is kind of scummy. Very scummy.
Wow. It is. Um. So what's going on? Apex Legends writer gets laid off 24 hours after the character she wrote is revealed, because that's what the game industry in 2025 looks like. EA has laid off hundreds of employees for reportedly around 300 to 400. It's nothing new, ladies and gentlemen. We have long history of reporting on the layoffs since beginning of 2023 into at the end of 23 into 24. So this has been a long time coming. Across its studios, including 100 at Respawn. Respawn Entertainment. Ouch. Oh, dear. Among the many developers left scrambling in an industry where this becomes shockingly routine, one in particular leapt out. Heather Woodward, a now former narrative designer at Respawn, was laid off a literal day after the character she'd spent a whole year writing debuted.
Poof.
On April 28th, Apex Legends introduced a new character by the name Prodigy. My firstborn is finally here, Woodward posted to Blue Sky. I've been working on this sweet ragaz. What the ragazoo? What the fuck? What the hell does that even mean?
I have no idea. Just continue.
The language of these people for well over a year. Writing a music video style trailer was a tough but rewarding challenge, and I can't believe I get to see my work animated by the incredible team at Sun Creature. Then on April 9th, one day later, the layoffs hit, and Woodward discovered she'd been caught in the wave of sacrifice, the altar of growth. Well, this is awkward, but I was just mass downsized at Respawn. These things happen, and my time with Apex has been a top to bottom blast. My favorite job I've ever had. It's been a true joy to write Sparrow. I'll continue to be insufferable about him for weeks to come. Woodward appears to be taking this on the chin.
Maybe they won't be good, but when you make a character that you should at least get out the door and maybe see the reception at the studio, and fans alike, but not even a year after writing, they build the character, character designs, everything, the whole shebang. Now it's like, you're fired. That's not very healthy for the industry. That's not healthy.
Exactly. Woodward appears to be taking this on the chin in a way that's downright enviable, but it really does feel like a perfect nutshell of how messed up and unsustainable this industry has become. There's just zero guarantee of anything anymore. Let's take a look at the reasons why you might get laid off while working on a game, shall we? Your game doesn't do well. Well, sure, harsh, but understandable. Your game is called a success by Microsoft. Microsoft then lays you off. You help make a game as successful as Marvel Rivals. You are then laid off. Your studio gets acquired for Your studio gets acquired for over $60 billion. You are then laid off. You endure you endure executive pressure that forces you into making games your studio isn't good at making. It doesn't go well. You are then laid off.
Okay, who was that one?
Someone. What was that one?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Oh,
Blue
that's
Highlights.
Arcane. That's Arcane. That Arcane and Bethesda.
Arcane Austin,
Oh, that mess.
Arcane Austin, Redfall.
Oh, yeah, that mess of things. Someone decides your portfolio needs to be aligned, reorganized, restructured to become more flexible, agile, versatile under economic and industry conditions. Meanwhile, your CEO might have spent $2 million on vintage cars. You are then laid off.
Which company was that again?
Let's see. Let me look that up. Former Bungie dev shows fury and sorrow over following the revelation that CEO Pete Parsons, I remember this clown. Allegedly spent, Pete Parsons, CEO of Bungie, former, the CEO of Bungie, he spent $2,414,550 on vintage cars in the past 2 years. What's this? They wonder why Bungie is a joke now. Oh my god! Wow! Ladies and gentlemen, that is not a laugh of it's just absurd and ridiculous how incompetent the CEOs are. I guess, and now we can add you dared to work on a video game to that list. Woodward's work on Prodigy could be either good or bad, and it clearly doesn't matter. Make a good game, make a bad game, make a game at all, and your job's at risk.
Look at the last one, and that would be the protagonist from Metaphor Refantasy. But when you look at the history of even the stuff that I was mentioning, off going through all that, it's not a surprise, really, folks. This is the AAA industry, sadly. It is. When you look back and think about it, when you're nice and young, you want to get into all this stuff. But then you hear the horror stories years later, how Ubisoft treats all the big AAA companies treat their employees, not just here in the West, but also in the East. If you're thinking, but no, they're fine over there, there are horror stories. There are horror stories across the board. There truly is. And don't say there isn't, because there is. Every one of your companies that we love them, we'll love them to death. There's always a shadow over them. Something that's nasty, greedy. They're out there. But sadly, it's not going to change. It won't change. That's why a lot of developers are just done making games, don't want to work on them. But there's a lot of stress. We hear people working 7 days a week, 80-hour paydays, 80 hours a week, don't get paid, or paid withheld. Even at Blizzard, where that one guy came out, so all I asked was just for a simple raise, or gets ridiculed, blacklisted the company, then is fired. It's out there. It's shameful. It's something that we don't want to happen, but it's out there. Even if you say, for some of these companies, my favorite game developers, devs might be cool people, but it's the higher ups that treat them like crap. Like we said many, many times, you can make a smash game like Hi-Fi Rush. You are fired. You are let go. Your company is shut down. And then someone at Microsoft has to have the audacity to be like, we need more art house winning games. Hello. You just fired everybody. Why are you saying this? Thankfully, there's a happy ending where the company that owns PUBG's developers, they were finally bought out by them. So, yay, hooray! But it's kind of scummy. You
It
fired a
is
talented
when you
team
look at
that
all
gave you stuff that was said, make more games like this. You're fired to someone who must have not got the memo. We need more. That day was a full blown irony. I'm like, the irony of this.
exactly. Yeah. And also don't forget all the horror stories of Bobby Kodak's time. All of those.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still walking, ladies and
That man
gentlemen.
should be in jail.
He's still walking. And this is one of the few times where I really wish somebody would arrest him and throw him in jail. This is one of the few times Kodak
Louis
really
Gilmore for
should be
Ubisoft
in
and his
jail right.
power that he should be in, or should be in jail. Should a couple of other Ubisoft developers should be in jail as well for what they have done behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
given exactly. And keep in mind, folks, we've been keeping track of this. I want to say for almost 2 years. Ever since the merger with no, actually about a year in. This is like
I think it
literally
just
going on
goes
a
on for
full year.
decades because people either ignore them or not. Apparently, allegedly, Jason Schreier knew a whole lot, but didn't tell anybody or until the book came out, which is like, if you have information, please get out the door. Don't hold on to it, is what I always say. But when it came out during the book, yeah, it kind of rubbed me very much the wrong way. But it's like, but
Exactly. And
but to move
on
on to
top
this
of
topic
that,
because now we're getting a little bit more uncomfortable because I'm going like, there's a lot of corrupt people
um,
still in power at these companies. They need to be removed, but they won't get removed because the underlings will suffer while they stay in power. That's the sad truth. If even if the game still makes money, it's like I get to keep my job. You're fired.
exactly. So this will probably be our final segment, and it's one I just recently found. Joker. We on top of Predators, we have an Alien movie.
There's a
I am not
lot of stuff.
joking. And oh, wrong one. And let's see. There it is. Apparently, Alien Earth official teaser is out, and here's what we can expect. Oh, it's a
So
horror
this is
show,
the
actually. My bad. I thought
Noah
it was.
Haley's Alien series that's coming to FX. So this is kind of like before Ridley and a few others, but somewhere it's in the timeline. So we're still in the prequel stuff, but we do see a xenomorph looking at Earth. So I'm like, okay, and it's coming to FX Hulu. So hooray, I got stuff to watch.
Um, let's see. Set before Ripley's time, but after the company's quest for power was already well in action, Alien Earth suggests a future where the real terror might not be the creature hiding in the dark, but the humans calling the shots. This is
Okay,
more about evolution.
oh, continue. Sorry about that.
This is more about evolution than nostalgia. It looks like it will push the narrative into even darker areas where ambition, fear, and survival instincts clash in disastrous ways. The teaser does not reveal much, and that is the point. Instead, it plants a seed of dread, the kind that grows slowly, twisting it under our skin until it's too late for us to run. So, what exactly can we expect from Alien Earth? I'd say maybe more than just blood and screams, maybe a reflection of everything we were too scared to see the first time. The possibilities are infinite. And this is a screenshot from the official teaser. Uh it does not purposely show much, and that's good. I like it when the buildup is there. I like it when the buildup is there. It's like, whoa, 008-4, who's that? I wonder who that could be, or what's up with that. Um, so keep in mind, folks, this is probably going to delve way deeper than ever before in Alien. Oh, actually, Joker has a better one of this, so I will pull that up.
So there's the xenomorph
Oh,
right there, but there's
that
005.
looks.
Now, I think my concern originally with everybody else, when Noah Haley announced this, it's like, really, we're going to Earth, but there's no xenomorph. But then, like, human stuff, it's like, come on, please, doesn't sound like Alien. The teaser GIF that we saw with, okay, there's Earth, but you see this guy right here. It's like, oh, we're not looking at Earth. We're looking at Earth on this guy's head. And then we do the iconic alien, bite someone. I'm like, okay, so the xenomorph are still here. And I do like the tagline right here: "Fear takes new forms." And I'm like, you know what? After that weird, wait, are we allowed to say what happens in Alien Romulus?
Yes, I've seen it already. Go ahead. I've seen it already,
Well,
so you have
you
my
remember
you
the
have.
whole baby thing, right?
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is that? I wonder if this is gonna tie into that.
Well, or is this going to be a different evolution of that thing? Because I love seeing new aliens in the Alien franchise. The Xenomorph is an iconic monster, but seeing the date was the Neomorph in Prometheus was cool as hell. But to figure out the Neomorph eventually transform into a mountain is kind of cool, actually. Seeing the other, like the white alien, the other Neomorphs transform into something bigger and white was cool as hell in Alien Covenant. Probably some of my favorite design, actually, just that of that creepy white alien. Because Fassbender is looking at the thing, and it's just like that was probably the most tense scene in that movie. Just Fassbender staring at his own creation. It's like brilliant, brilliant. And then you see, like, oh wait, he actually is the one who created the pods. He's the one who actually created all the xenomorphs. So this is kind of cool. And again, that 005-3, like, what's in this thing?
Because this
I
already
see
has my
stuff,
interest.
like, I see legs, I see insect legs, I see like an insect body. I see
That
some
is
wings.
creepy. Oh, that's creepy. If it
So I'm
has
like,
wings,
something's in here. But of course, the big guy himself, the
is
xenomorph.
guarding it. He's guarding it. Look at the posture. It's guarding it.
It's guarding it. It's almost look like it's looking at you yourself. This is the face. I wonder if it wants to get into this thing, or if he's actually guarding it. I mean,
You
it's
see,
not
ladies
open.
and
That's the
gentlemen,
thing. It's not open.
this is show and tell done right because we're asking the questions. What is in this thing? Why is the xenomorph there? And you're right, Joker. It is not open. It's green, but it's not the pod. The door's still closed. Because everybody knows green means the door is unlocked, but the door is still closed. Now, if it was red, it would be locked. So I have to wonder, did the xenomorph kill somebody before they had the chance to pull the door open?
It
Or
could be a
or
lot of
or
things.
or did the xenomorph try to kill the person trying to lock it? You're right. Possibilities are endless, but I wagered those two questions for this one. I'm excited. I have yet to
And
see
not
the
to
teaser
mention, we're
trailer,
in
but
low numbers. We're in 005. So this isn't their first time creating, you could say, life. but this is also during the company. So this obviously is after Prometheus. So they kind of know about at least the xenomorphs for a little bit, but this is before Ripley. So it's like, So I want to wonder, did David succeed? Did he not succeed? I don't think he really did. Because you have to remember, at the end of Alien Covenant, it's like, oh, they're going to that planet and everything, but then it's like, so, And not to mention, the xenomorph does look a bit more different from what it still looks the same. It still looks the same like xenomorph. There's no deleting the iconic design and changing it up outside of the neomorphs and the new baby hybrid thing. That thing was terrifying. So it's still the same xenomorph. So I'm like, this is gonna have to be we're gonna have to, at the end of the day, we're gonna have to just wait and see for this. I'm glad the premise looks better now. I'm glad things are shaping up to be an actual proper Alien franchise and not whatever we originally thought of. Because please, 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 I always keep saying this, let me be wrong about stuff. Because I could have said, nope, I'm not going to watch this. It's not Alien. But now it's shaping up to be a proper Alien production. Now, I'm excited. I'm a little more happy now, so let's go for it.
And it's actually going to a return to horror. What made Alien what defined the Alien franchise, and that's a good thing. I like it when something goes back to the roots. So like, okay, we tried this. Let's go back to what made it terrifying first place. This is what Alien Isolation did. That's what Alien Isolation did. That game still terrifies me, especially that hive level and everything, because you never know when they're going to come out, and you're like, where are they going to go? Where's it going to happen? I like that it's going back to this, and we need more of that. But I am pretty excited for this one, and I will share your sympathy on that. We proven wrong. We just want to be proven wrong at least one time. Because I lost count the number of times we've been proven right as far as everything goes. Just this one time, we want to be wrong. But I like how it looks. It's shaping up to be a classic. They know what they're doing, and I'm okay with that. That shot that we showed and everything with the xenomorph on that pod, that raises more questions than we have answers, ladies and gentlemen. And it is coming soon. It is coming soon this year in the summer. And I'm ready for it. I am ready. Joker's ready. I'm ready. Let's give this a fair chance. See what it does. Heck, who knows? We might see the first ever xenomorph.
So it's set 2 years before Alien.
So
yes, so yes, I am correct. So David did succeed in some way. Which again, that's what I want the third Prometheus film to be. Show me David succeeding. Because then, again, if people think that we're safe, let's get out of here. Let's go back to our original planets. I'm betting. Because a xenomorph is not going to happen if you did not have David. Or without all those pods. Facehuggers. So again, someone effed up and got a facehugger. So this is correct, and no wonder why. It maybe will even explain to us why is this company so fixated on getting a xenomorph. Because in Romulus, you kind of got an idea, a little bit of why they're fixated on getting a xenomorph, along with the space lab, and along with the lab and aliens. So I'm like, okay, no wonder why they're fixated on this shit. But maybe now we'll get the true, definitive answer. Why does everybody want a xenomorph? It's that $1 million question that I'm hoping they don't answer, but maybe just one simplified answer that makes you ponder a little bit, like why?
And seeing all the pods and everything, it's like, what else is in there? Because everybody knows, we're so used to the xenomorph and everything between the queen and all of that. We're so used to that. We love them.
Like,
We
how
love
does
them.
David even make? Hell, how does David even make a queen?
Exactly.
That's my question. How does he make a queen? Because we know there's a queen, but to find out it was David who created these things, because he's chasing for perfection. How does he get a queen? Which might be his own undoing. So, hell, there could be a message from Michael Fassbender or someone who they can get great as to be Michael Fassbender. Hell, if Fassbender's in this, I'll be going, oh my god, they saved him for the end. I would be the happiest camper at that moment.
And Wayland Yutani is involved. It's there. So I say Joker. It's not entirely far off. We could have Fassbender in there. I mean, even if like in video form or something, like him explaining that, yes, I have done it. I finally made a queen. Like, just like that pure arrogance, you get from him in Covenant and everything. But time will tell. In summer, I'm very, very excited to see how this is gonna go, and hopefully, with everything going as is, because Predator's shaping up to be good based on the events of last week and what me and Sean talked about. It's shaping to be good, and Aliens going back to their roots. So and the good thing I have Hulu. I do have Hulu. So this is perfect timing. This is perfect timing on everything. But I'm going to give the floor to Joker for his final thoughts on this segment before we head out. The floor is yours, Joker.
I do really want this to be successful because, again, we judged it right away. It doesn't sound like Aliens, but again, it's always like somehow Alien, I think, has always found a weird way to always bounce back in a bit of ways, because it took me years to truly appreciate Prometheus in a way, to actually really appreciate what they were doing with that film at that time period. Granted, I was hoping to get scared a lot, but I'm like, both yes and no, but it was also like, you know what, I can accept it now. I'm a little bit older, a little bit more wiser, so that was something that I could always, finally get by. So that's what I was hoping for. But seeing, what's happening now, like a new fear, like, yeah, I'm always fearing stuff with aliens, but it's not really the xenomorph I'm always afraid of now. It's like, it's always been the androids, like David or the original android from the original film. I think they were very more scary, or the things surrounding them. Like, it's going back to proper horror, And so I think that will be cool. Like how many cast members are even gonna notice the xenomorph or be like, do you have any idea what's out there to begin with? Because I think it's strange enough to set Alien Earth back on Earth. Because in Alien 4, we don't talk about Alien 4 and their
No.
alternate ending where it's like, then why do we send people up if Earth is this destroyed? So maybe they'll better explain this in this film or this project, at least. And Noah Haley is a good writer, so maybe he'll finally make this work, make the humanized cast good, make them better. Because I think outside of Aliens 1, 2, and Prometheus duology, do I not care about the humans in 3 or 4. And I will give Covenant credit because I actually like that crew a little bit better than Prometheus. I say just love it because I do like their short film that went along with the movie. So I'll give them the credit for that. And they actually acted like a crew versus the whole. Yeah, I mean, I still like Prometheus, but I think I like Covenant because that's the one I saw in theaters more often. And like I said, it took me years to appreciate Prometheus cast, but they're slowly rising up. But I think they have a potential. I'm hoping it's good. FX been getting a lot of good stuff lately. Hopefully, this is one of them. And I think Alien needs a good win. Romulus was a good win. We're in the right direction. Alien prequel, third film, Ridley Scott announced as well. So I'm hoping this is good so we can get that third and final film for the prequel stuff because I love Alien. The more Aliens content we get, the better. And hopefully this is good. Heck, if it's so good, maybe Disney will finally release me my Alien versus Predator anime, which they refuse to release.
Oh yeah, that needs to get released. What's up, MGTOW?
Please.
Also, um we need the Isolation sequel because that game
I
was
think that's
good.
well, actually, that it's been confirmed. It is coming out, so it was almost long ship sail, but hey, good timing. So,
Because that game actually hit every note correctly with the franchise. The working Joes, Samuel being an android, but the cool thing was he's an android that we actually can trust. That was a nice flip of the script right there. I actually like that twist right there really got me. But those working Joes, that adds more horror to the androids. Those things, oh my
because they were
god.
cheaper to be made, they were disposable.
And they were annoying as fuck when the alien is right there. It's
Well,
like,
depending on the mode you're playing on. If you're playing on hard mode, then yes, because the alien will one shot you, regardless.
well, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of time as of tonight with Knightcast, but it has been a very wild episode as we promised. Got all the topics out and corrected the Superman controversy both Joker and I saw, gave our thoughts on it, corrected the narrative being pushed. It really is rage bait at the end of the day. That's what it is. So we're on the fence of just waiting to see what happens come 71 days. You said 71 days?
Around 71 days at least.
And then we got the Alita update sequel, which is very nice. We got the Sergeant Rock news out of the way. Very excited for Alien Earth for FX this summer on Hulu. Luckily, it's on something I can actually sit down and watch on my own time. I'm looking forward to that and hope to God it's good. Predators coming out soon. Very excited for that based on what we saw. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Tune in tomorrow night for the watch party as we continue on with Black Cat. It's really heating up right now in those episodes. I am so excited to see what happens with our characters as the story goes forward. Stay tuned, everybody, for more content from both me and Joker. One last question, Joker, real quick. How was Marvel's Spider-Man? How was it?
I'm only 20% into the game, so for the
Based on
I
so
mean,
far.
it's fine. The Sandman boss battle, it was fine, I guess. I mean, like nothing too spectacle. I'm like, sure, the moment people kept talking about like, oh my god, this is so great. I mean, so Miles gets launched by Sandman, launches and thrown away across NYC. I'm like, okay, but and then Miles does the cinematic cutscene. I'm like, but I think some stuff that people need to remember. I miss stuff when was an actual gameplay that's not just a cinematic. Even was that a couple moments were more QTEs in the Sandman fight, I still would have been like, well, at least I'm doing the QTE. I'm part of the gameplay. I'm part of the experience. Not I'm just not watching cutscene. I mean, the Harry stuff so far, it's okay. The flashback in the school was nice. That was really a nice touch. Oh, by the way, the MJ model, oh, it's real. It's real. I'm like,
It's
oh, yeah, there you are.
uh,
What did they do to MJ? I did not. So, and only just now recently is Craven's Hunters in NYC because they just got the lizard, no, not the lizard, Scorpion, and Mr. Lynch. So I just got to that encounter. So I just did that set piece. So as of right now, I haven't advanced the story. I'm just going around taking photos for what's his name again? The Daily Bugle. That Jonah and Harry.
J. Jonah Jameson.
No, not Triple J. The other guy. Not Triple J. The other guy, the black guy.
Oh, oh
Was it
God, it's
Ernie?
been
Was it Ernie? I think it was Ernie.
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 Yes,
So I like taking photos for Ernie. So I like that, and I do like his little comments here. There, I wish the guy who did play Ernie in the Raimi's film was still with us because he made a really good Ernie. He really did.
he did phenomenal.
Like he was always
I'm
nice.
so
He was always nice to Tobey Maguire's Spider Peter. Like even in Spider-Man 2, he's like, I heard Spider-Man was down there. As if he knew. It's like as if he knew. Like it's like, is that you? Like that small little like his head's like this, but he's looking at it. It's like, was that you? But it's also just communicating. I won't say anything. And even in Spider-Man 2 for the PS2, he was still nice to Peter. Like, here, take these photos from me. He won't kick you out. And he's like, oh, these are for Ernie then. Well, thank you.
I liked Ernie and the secretary in those movies. Actually, there was a thread I saw a long time ago that she was like one of Peter's love interests, and I'm like,
I think that was either a rumor or it could have been, but it's like, yeah,
it doesn't work that way. No, that won't work.
No, I think she was more like someone that's always trying to cheer up Peter, like, hey, just smile. Just smile. But anyway, guys, we'll get right out of here. Thank you for joining Knightcast. We'll see you later tomorrow night for Black Cat. Thank you.